Page 161, Council of Modernity. After the global incident in blank, survivors divided themselves into 3 distinct groups based on belief systems. Belief structures. What the fuck? Post-fall, the ideological concerns of people still remained while structures failed to support the conflict. So that was a debate.
What was a debate?
So what was a debate gave way to violence. The council's primary role is to organize people into categories, thus allowing discussion between the larger parties to take place in a non-violent manner. Members of these categories are labeled dwellers. Anyone unaligned with the available overreaching ideologies is actively adapted to adopt the title Minotaur. See Minotaur. The council was officially formed in blank and up to the writing of this encyclopedia to preserve voices on request of the council. There have been only 3 ideological groups.
So basically people who believe in some sort of system are dwellers, and Minotaurs are like atheists.
But you get assigned to be a Minotaur, so I wonder what that's...
Well, no, they're allowed to adopt the term Minotaur, is what it said.
But do you have to, like, ask for that? Because it seemed like, I was given the title Minotaur earlier. Page 334. Guild of the Greater Eye. The Guild is one of the 3 ideological groups that spawned from the formation of the Council. So we know this is also a post-apocalyptic world. See Council of Modernity. Their ideology consists of a basic theism. Post-fall, prior religions lost their structure, so a sort of individualism took place. This effectively shattered any theological differences. This faction agreed to unite under the assumption that a deity does exist, even if that deity's exact definition is various among the members. So they're Unitarian. They're agnostics. The one understanding is that the members all share blah, blah, blah. This ideological group's major goal is to rebuild a society that allows for freedom of religious expression. The primary method of achieving this at the present is through education, under the regulations agreed upon by the council at large. The guild's methodology consists of presenting the possibility of a life outside the physical and an entity not bound by physical laws. But it also seemed like Minotaurs were considered to be above all 3 of the groups because they were like, that one guy was like, I'm a Minotaur, listen to me, and everyone was like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you're no. Well, he's also very annoying.
Hi, AJ.
He's making lots of snuffling noises.
That's the sound he makes when he's happy. Oh. Oh no! Oh no, the whiteness! One giant leap for a man, one small step for mankind. Oh, that's the inverse of,
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Mm-hmm.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
I wonder what these arrows mean. Like, what's that? What?
I don't know.
I'm not smart enough for it. We're back at the beginning. Well, let's go right this time. Whee! Or did we already go this way? Now I'm confused. Oh, no. This is different. Then I woke up. Oh, that was in one of his diaries.
Yeah. Oh.
Thankfully, they cut his penis off so we don't have to see it. That's much better than what the alternative could have been. No, we already went this way. But this wall wasn't here before. What were you gonna say?
thought there were things over there that because we didn't get that note, remember? It was behind the wall.
Oh. Yeah, let's just, like, follow our hearts,
wander
though.
around.
Yeah. This is too stressful.
But if he could only have seen your qualities, your utilitarian and defensive necessity.
G-U-O.
Guild, Unknowing, Order.
Ah.
Don't be too impressed. It took me until now to figure that out, so...
Well, it took me never to figure it out, so you're going better than me.
Oh, AJ.
Did he fart?
Yeah.
That's my farty boy. AJ, you my farty boy? He's like looking at me like, what?
Oh, here we are.
Oh yeah, okay, this is the place, so...
Page 810, Unknowing. The Unknowing are one of the 3 ideological groups that spawned from the formation of the Council, see Council of Modernity. Their ideology consists of a loose form of agnosticism. Finding a general consensus amidst this group has presented several structural problems, and their refusal to adopt any leader has resulted in an almost anarchic outlook. However, their methodology has almost no variation. The Unknowing seek to rid any potential new society of the concept of objective truth, and in doing so, they aim to eliminate oppression entirely, leaving truth to individuals. Their goal is to create a society that adopts subjective truth.
Okay, well, that will inevitably turn to oppression if you're gonna be... It's subjective truth. Okay.
Well, that's in terms of religion, I guess. If people really truly adopted, like, personal subjective truth, then it would be great, actually. The problem is when you say, like, subjective... Like, the oppression comes from being like, this is my subjective truth that you must also agree with. Do you know what I mean? Like...
You're smarter
Perhaps
than
his
me.
dreams were a ladder leading to uselessness. Perhaps my dreams are the same.
Because, like, the conflict right now comes from people believing that their subjective truth is the objective truth. Does that make sense?
Yes. Page 598. Minotaur. The Minotaurs were elected as moderators in the discussion between the 3 ideological groups of the Council. Their usefulness is directly related to their ability to maintain fairness, instrumental in preventing violent outbreaks and infighting. The Minotaurs do not align with any particular ideology. They act as free agents in a discussion between 3 established factions. A major source of support for the Minotaur is another party named LEVIATHAN in the Old City, which is now quarantined because of blank. So...
See, I'm liking this more when we get some of this, like, lore. You know what I mean?
Maybe that's why it's a slow burn, and they were waiting. We're both we're doing it. We're both.
One small step for a man, another useless corpse for mankind.
Now you like it. Now you like the game. You're like, yeah, useless corpse.
No, but that makes so much sense. One small step for a man.
I know. Put mankind. Some feudalism in this fucking shit.
Their dream. Like, oh, what's that? Some existentialism and life is pointless? I like this. I like what they're trying to say.
How much do you know of the old world? Did you even exist? Were you thrown overboard when your fall occurred, floundering in a new and terrifying negativity? My transition was not a comfortable one, so in this we can feel a measure of companionship.
I like I like it when post-apocalyptic worlds look beautiful, unlike Fallout, where I'm like, it's boring, it sucks.
Well, it's not just that. It's the, you know, it's not even that, like, obviously, like, everything is dead and brown, but also, like, you can have other, like rich color palettes within.
Maybe that's why they use the cans.
Yeah.
To add some color. Sheol.
Do you still believe in a world out there in the blue?
Like, it is possible to make things colorful and also dead.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I mean, corpses are colorful.
Books on top of books on top of books. Voices creeping in from the vasts of a larger and more ancient world, now trapped in the claustrophobia of narrow minds and cold halls.
I kind of like the wandering feeling of this bit. I think the way they design the levels, that it feels like you're wandering, but they all eventually twist you where you need to go.
Mm-hmm.
Which I like. I feel free and not stressed, but, you know.
The old world was worthy of the waters that still flow from the inland. These green pipes that provide us with the basic sustenance we need for a pointless existence are nothing but charitable structures for an already stagnant populace. In this sense, our ideas never change because we rejected the source for its fruits.
When we discovered this cache of voices, the larger goal was already clear. We aimed to unveil truth in all of its objective and simple nature. Voices are nothing but relics of ancient discovery, and as obsolete as the old findings are, they may still act as ladders to a more complete picture of understanding. Fact, you see, fact is unchanging and ultimately understandable. It is only in fact that our allegiance should reside. I hope you would permit me to say, my dear fellows, that fact does not respect our personal bonds, or even in community we should exhibit no final loyalty. I disagree because, you know, facts change all the time.
Oh.
In terms of, like, scientific facts and stuff, but... What is more, any respect for those who would choose to ignore fact is indefensible. Namely, the Guild and their rather simple band of acolytes, shall we say, are not to be tolerated. Yes, the Unknowing are also similarly detestable. While the Guild distorts truth, the Unknowing reject it outright. An obtuse concept, surely. After all, are we to consider the position untrue by nature of their claim? No. Truth is a simple thing, beautiful in all of its grandeur and connected nature. The whole of the thing, the object, is singular. It is only under the lens that truth becomes more complex.
Oh my God.
These simpletons would have you reject the connections of our findings. They would have you ignore the simple and singular nature of the grander cosmos in favor of some other singular fantasy, as if fact is a slave to some other imaginary and entirely unfounded voice. Moreover, it should be noted that tradition, in respective voices, functions to obscure fact itself. Like a great cloud, a blight, tradition draws lesser minds away from fact towards ignorance. This evil cannot be tolerated, as it and its followers, Guild or Unknowing, should be assaulted with every measure of cruelty that they so mindlessly show to us. Do what you must, defile, burn, torture, and eradicate. Fact must prevail for the good of all. We must annihilate this illusion of the dream. Dreams are for those who cannot understand. Fact, my dear fellows, fact is what will guide us to a brighter tomorrow, a more comfortable future. Listen to these voices for the distant impressions that fact has left on time long past. Beyond this, they are worthless. Beyond their minimal connection to the larger singular cosmos, they are chaff.
So, like, have you ever heard, like, separating the wheat from the chaff?
No.
So wheat is, of course, the useful part of the grain, and the chaff is like the part of it that you can't use and have to discard.
Oh, okay. Tradition is nothing but the inhibition of revelation, the blocking force between us and understanding. The source should be worthless beyond what is already provided. To regress to this source, we would be a devolution.
Yep.
So I think what's happening is like we're reading kind of the buildup of a war, I think.
I don't know.
I like it. I know you don't like it, but I really like it. To overseer principle of the Northwest Quad. If you see a dweller named Belle, restrain her immediately. We are certain that she has defected to the guild cause, and she should not be allowed to harm your garrison with any form of espionage. Intelligence has confirmed that her defection is, indeed, a fact. Capital F.
Yep.
She may try to persuade you that she is simply escaping guild captivity, but this is not the case. Use whatever means necessary to extract guild information from her. Order intelligence.
To overseer and principal of the Northwestern Quad, notice has been received that Belle is being protected by the guild. The information she has about our encampments may compromise the area. As a precaution, send units 8, 4, 7, and 15 down the tunnels to the docks. We'll be sending explosives to block off your subway access point. This will leave you and your family alone with a single unit of infantry. It is imperative that you stay and maintain this area. Even in personal bonds, we must exhibit no final loyalty. Of course, while I'm sure this precautionary measure will prove ultimately unnecessary, we will have to block our communication for several months. If anything does happen, it was a pleasure serving with you. One day, our certainty will win out over the evil of the guild, and truth will be apparent to all.
I like that storyline where they're like, no, whoa, facts, so kill her. Facts.
Well, I mean, we're basically just seeing it's a holy war.
I like it.
Yeah.
Holy war. I like it.
Yeah. It's like, oh, we've got some people who are like,
there are atheists, agnostics, and then like religious people.
Yeah. And they're basically all just like, no, our way is the best.
No, our way is the best.
Yeah. You know, and I find that argument like really tiresome in real life. Yeah. Everybody always like fighting about it and stuff.
Whatever, just let other people live.
I have my own feelings about it, and as long as like people aren't like hurting each other, I'm generally okay with people.
As long as your business is not getting into my business, or you're not like raping kids or something, I don't care. Do whatever you want. Just don't like when people are like, oh, you know, gays or whatever, and I'm like, fine, then don't be gay. Like, whatever. Suppress yourself. I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
But don't, like, come off and be like, I spent my life savings fighting gay rights. Like, what? Like, don't you have a life of your own? Spend that on going to Disney World.
It's really sad, though, because I think we've found out more and more cases where, like, these people that claim to hate gay people so much are just suppressing their own gayness.
Yeah.
And they hate themselves for it, and it makes them, like, lash out at other gay people. It's
true.
Wow, that conversation took a bit of a turn. Anyways.
Well, people, you know, there's no simple answer.
I have to believe that my dreams have some worth, lest I loose the same anchor into shoal. I have to believe that creation itself can bring life to cyclical demise.
Tarshish is manifesting piece by piece. All you can do now is hope that the Escalation sees its fruits.
I don't know if we're not pronouncing any of those right. They could be real things. I've never heard them before.
people.
Oh, yay. Whoa, lots more dead people. But, you know, we've played through games before where I was kind of, like, not feeling it for the entire game, and then they managed to knock it out of the park with the ending, so...
Yeah, you know, you're allowed to not like games.
Well, I know, but I'm saying, like, I try not to, like... I don't usually like to say, like, oh, I don't like this game up until, like, it's done. Because
I think
there have been times where we've played games, like, where it...
You know what? I think sometimes when I watch other Let's Players, they try to pretend to like a game more than they do. And I think it's just good when we're just like, I don't like it, but we're gonna keep playing. Just being honest is important. Because sometimes you can really hype up a game and then somebody like, oh, I'll buy it because they liked it. And then they're like, wait a second.
Ugh, they all do the same thing. They all claim a certainty that makes the certainty of others moot. Yes, again and again I know. Truth must be compatible with itself. But is that not illusory? Is truth itself not something that is in essence unattainable? My realism's present, but so are my dreams. And to claim otherwise is a dream all the same. It's as if they have dreamt of a world without dreams. It's as if their world is one in which truth has revealed itself in an anthropomorphic turn, allowing us all to see it clearly and grasp it amidst the darkness. Sad, yes, that we all see a different beacon. Now, all I see is void, and I do not know what's left other than to give up and stagnate in your belly. I may not have their full sense of certainty, but as of now, I cannot present an alternative. Truth must be compatible with itself. But that is irrelevant when truth is outside our reach. Onward with conflict, then, and onward with my labyrinth.
So, it would be interesting, like, to play this game through a second time, because it would be interesting to me to read through all those sources in the beginning, kind of knowing more about, like, the structure of the world that we're in.
I like that it's slowly unfolding to show, like, he's a Minotaur, so he's not, like, above it, but he just doesn't have strong feelings for any of those opinions.
Well, no, he thinks everybody else is an idiot for trying to pursue truth.
I think what he's saying is that they're an idiot for taking it so seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's like, well, you know, I'm sure it's important, but not important enough to kill each other over, so calm down.
Yeah.
Well, he's walking through a world filled with dead people who died because they were fighting over basically theological ideals.
I didn't think this was real.
I think some of it's real.
Well, no, I'm saying I didn't think that, like, we are literally walking through everything. I thought this was more like, we're going through our memories.
One of the larger Unknowing camps is nearby. Their lack of organization tends to make it difficult for them to avoid the conflicts between the Guild and the Order. Of course, the Unknowing themselves make their own little raids. This results in it being difficult to maintain any sense of pity. Regardless, I'm sure the onslaught was horrendous. People never fight harder than when someone else attempts to uproot their anchor, even if that someone only does so by existing.
I think that's maybe why he comes off sounding so pretentious and above everybody, because he's apart from the discussion in which they're operating.
Yeah, and he's just seeing and he's like, why are you guys being so like this?
Yeah.
And he seems pretentious, and maybe he is, but if he's seeing everybody ripping each other apart, it can be frustrating.
No, you know why it seems so pretentious? Okay, so the reason why it sounds pretentious is because it's kind of like when other people are like, why do you care about that so much? When it's something you really care about, and they act as if it's, like, stupid, it would be like...
That would be really annoying, yeah.
Well, it's kind of like, you know, we feel strongly about being against racism and homophobia and sexism, and when somebody else is like, I don't think that's a big deal, and I think it's dumb that you care about it so much, like, that seems...
That's really annoying and dismissive.
Exactly, and that's why what he says when he's like, yes, it is awful that these groups are killing each other for theological reasons, but when he presents it as kind of like I think I'm better than them because I don't have strong beliefs, that sounds pretentious.
Yeah, because there might be, like, things that each group is doing. Like, how do you know that one group isn't, like, sacrificing their children to their weird god or something, you know?
Well, also, there's a way to communicate, like, oh, I don't think it's right for these groups to kill each other in a way that's not, I think they're stupid for having beliefs. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I think it's stupid that they feel so strongly about these things.
I guess we thought this would be some sort of haven, a light on a hill. We thought we would hide away from what the other dwellers were doing to each other, although we hated them just as much as they hated us. I guess we thought we were simply right, making us exempt from the conflict. It's all backwards, you know? I mean, I get it. The world fell, yes. Everything went to shit. It's just that I think we assumed people would be largely the same after their old world left us. But just listen to me. I sound like a Minotaur, speaking in circles about how terrible we all are, with not a friend in the world to comfort me. It's funny how I thought of them as antisocial, insufferable, and, worst of all, arrogant. Now I feel as though I see the point of the isolation. I hate that it has to be this way. Yeah. You just got called out. Like, you thought they were pretentious.
Yep.
But maybe it makes sense. I like that it's, like, showing this really complicated thing that, like, it's impossible to be correct because there's no easy answer to any of these questions or beliefs or problems.
All of our dreams at their core involve some sort of contentment. This is the one desire we all share, but is it a goal that really should be met? After finding contentment, what then? Where is there left to explore after the last temporary comforts of happiness have been extracted?
Abandoning quest for truth
irrespective of
artificial backgrounds or practical consequences.
That's cool food. For thought. Get it? Ba-dum.
Wow.
I assumed that was a food bag.
It did look like a food bag.